Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV in Heaven's Ward. I wanted to continue the White Mage quest today with the level 56 quest, the Dark Blight Rifes. For finishing this quest we get the spell Assize, which does damage in an area and heals nearby party members. That sounds good. Terrible news, Serenia. The manifestation of a tent you perched here has reappeared. The fiends nearby were driven into a frenzy all over again, and they reportedly attacked a knight on patrol. Though a man managed to flee to the convectory, his wounds are grievous. And to compound matters, the camp's chirurgeons are all afield and cannot readily return. You are his only chance. You must go to the convectory and save him. And let's go to the convectory. He's in a bad way. Please hurry and tend his hurts. Cast Cure 2. The pain fades. I owe you a debt of gratitude. Thanks to you, the danger is past. However, he will still require constant care for a time. I shall remain on hand to provide help. Meanwhile, you must go and purify the taint that has reappeared west of Banepool. Only you have the power to do so, Serenia. Please hurry before it can cause any more harm. If I speak different than last time when we met XIV, I'm sorry, I absolutely do not remember how I spoke her. Unholy pikeman. I believe this is Mega Zombies. Ah, there's the taint. I'm pleased to say that the knight will make a full recovery. Had you not come to his aid, his comrades believe he would have died. I see you have already purified the taint. Good work, Serenia. I must say, though, that this reappearance baffles me. It should have taken far longer for the foul ether to accumulate. I'm disinclined to believe that this came about by itself. Nay, I sense that someone had a hand in this. I spoke with a knight after he had sufficiently recovered. Shortly before he was attacked, he caught sight of a foreign woman who reeks of death. Alaqqa. Wherever she appears, so too does the taint. I wasn't certain before, but now I'm convinced that it is no mere coincidence. Could it be that she's creating the taint? If so, to what end? Why would she do such a thing? I know not her design, but I know her action cannot be borne. Should the taint continue to manifest, both Curthus and the 12th foot would suffer unimaginable damage. Stillglade Fane must know of this threat. I shall send word to them. Though I shan't raise hope that the Seedseers will bestir themselves. Best to assume that we are on our own. Now then, our priority now is to track down Alaqqa. The knight said that she was headed west to the Dravanian forelands. Let's take our search to the main settlement there. Tailfeather, I believe it's called. I've spoken with a handful of locals. A strange woman has been witnessed coming and going, and with some regularity. I'm reasonably confident that it is Alaqqa, but I shall try gather more information for good measure. Something occurs to me, Sir Rainier. If Alaqqa is indeed responsible for creating the taint, she will not take kindly to our purifying it. It may well come to a confrontation. Pray use this time to further own your powers, for we shall have need of them ere long. By purifying the taint, you have owned your powers as a white mage. Okay, we at 58 quest. In the wake of death. Thin air, reduce MP cost for all spells by 100% for 12 seconds. 2 minutes cooldown. Okay. Good tidings, Zorin here. I've acquired definite information on Alaqqa. As before, the stench of death gave her away. A hunter she chanced to walk near couldn't help but notice the smell. When she realized she was being observed, she quickly turned her steps west toward dragon territory. The hunter shouted a warning, but she continued on heedless. In light of her inclinations, I dare say she has business there. There's an area called Avalonia Fallen to the west. Let us head to that direction and try to pick up Alaqqa's tale. Let's just fly over the mountain instead of walking all around it. No signs of Alaqqa, and the area beyond is fraught with danger. Not even hunters dare venture in. I would sooner not wander these parts without some guarantee that Alaqqa is near, but we cannot afford to delay lest she elude us completely. Let's split up and search. If we would focus on the area to the north, I shall follow the high road west. Oh, and do keep an eye out for the taint. If Alaqqa is here, it's like to have manifested. Where is this taint? Alaqqa is not here. We join Shiva on the westbound high road. Well, at least we've rid this land of this taint, right? But there she is. You should not have startled me. You. I see. You are the one who undid my work. Why do you interfere with my experiment? So it was you who created the taint. The taint, you say? An insult born of ignorance. What you so carelessly destroyed is a wellspring of life-giving ether. What are you saying? The taint is befouled ether. It destroys life. So you choose to cling to your ignorance, like all the others. But it matters not what you think. When my experiment is complete, all the fools who tormented me and mine shall get their comeuppance. No, we won't let you continue your twisted experiment. Serenia, stop her! I believe you have more pressing concerns. Drawn to the ether, I shouldn't doubt, or the taint as you insist on calling it. But such details are immaterial. By whatever name it is known, I shall fill the world with it and have my revenge. Do not interfere. Consider this your final warning. I guess Asylum has a greater range than Holy, because I hit this guy over there with it. Possibly this Earth Sprite as well. Sorry guys. Detainting. You find a peculiar hunk of flesh on the ground. Thank you, Serenia. Again you have saved me, and again I am reminded of my own weakness. Huh? What do you have there? Just while I skipped my last meal. I'd wager this is part of Alaqqa's experiment. The seeds here may be able to glean something from it, and yet I find myself loath to seek them out. They haven't lifted so much as a finger to help us. What can we expect of them now? Now is not the time to be stubborn. You have a right of it. There's more at stake than a difference of opinion. If we are to save the 12th, we must needs turn to the Seedseers for aid. It's settled then? We return to the 12th. Purifying the taint, you have owned your powers as a white mage once again. I put you here. The Trials of a Pagel. Another 58 quest, huh? Please hold on to the hunk of flesh. It's safer in your keeping. Now then, let us return to Camp Tranquil and explain the situation to the Theseus. Yeah, it's safer. It's not that she's grossed out by it, it's safer with me. The situation grows ever more dire, but will it be enough to spur the Theseus into action? Ah, you returned. How fares the effort to purge the taint? You wish to show us something? Here, take this tainted flesh. What does it tell us, brother? The elementals are in trepidation of the flesh. It's infused with befouled ether. Of this there can be no doubt. And with the Great One's warning growing ever more fervent, it seems plain that this Alaqqa continues to sow the taint. Whatever it is she seeks to do, we must put a stop to it. Arun and I shall take a closer look at the flesh. In the meantime, you must resume your journey of purification. What? With all due respect? Oh, to hell with respect. I can't believe what I'm hearing. You would send us back into the midst of danger with nary a word of counsel? I know full well that we ask much of you, but there's none other upon whom we can depend. Depend, you say? Instead of depending on others, why don't you do something for a change? We all know that you both have the power to do so. Do you realize how much Serenia has been through in your name? Oh, but of course you don't, because while she bled for you, you were hiding here with your hats in the treetops. If Master Atawa were to see this, he would be turning in his grave. Hats in the treetops? What's the matter with her? To think that our own people see us in such a light. It cannot be helped, brother. We are bound to remain in the forest. Things are not as they were during Master Atawa's time. Be that as it may, there were people to lose faith in us. For whom shall we convey the will of the elementals? Forgive me, Serenia, but I would be alone. Rest assured I will take a closer look at the tainted flesh. Arun has the right of it. It is our duty to facilitate harmony between man and elemental. All the laws of the forest count for naught if we fail in this. At this rate, we must needs stop Alaqqa's dark designs. And fear not, Serenia. Henceforth, we will not leave you to bear the burden alone. Pray allow us time to consider our next step. "21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Time enough. Raya might be more fallible than her brother, but she's not one to spout words of idle flattery. This I speak from experience. Yes, you've proven yourself a worthy white mage indeed, Kupo. Tetragrammaton. Serenia, we've conceived a plan to deal with the taint. We would share the particulars with everyone. Might I trouble you to fetch a Shiva? She will have returned to Falgold Float, I believe. Pray return here after you notified her. Arun and I shall be waiting. Oh, it's you, Serenia. I must apologize for my earlier display. The seats here wish to see me despite the disrespect I showed them. Though their ways baffle me, it cannot be denied that they care for the forest. Perhaps they deserve more credit than I give them. I will go, of course. Let us strike out at once. Thank you for coming. Well, without further ado, let us begin. After our last meeting, I went to the Guardian Tree and presented the tainted flesh to the Great One. His reaction was telling. The befouled ether it bears is identical to the taint which now threatens the Twelvewood. Unless we stop Alaqqa, the forest will be reduced to a wasteland of death. Serena gave me to understand that you have conceived a plan to deal with the taint. What is this plan? Simply put, Arun and I shall accompany you to the Dravanian Forelands. As you are doubtless aware, the Pajal are chosen by the elementals to convey their will. Should that will go unheard or be misinterpreted, harmony would be lost and tragedy would inevitably befall. In order to prevent this, we strive to own our sensitivity to the elementals far beyond the limits of ordinary men. And this sensitivity allows us to perceive even the slightest fluctuations in the ether. With our faculty of sensing ether, Arun and I shall ascertain the site of Alaqqa's experiment, and once we find it, we will join our powers to Serenia and purge the taint once and for all. You would leave the forest? But what of the will of the elementals? Rest assured, we have obtained the Elder Seetsia's permission. Our sister shall see to it that the elementals do not go unheard during our absence. But above all, your words struck home. We will not leave the two of you to bear the burden alone. We shall do all we can to aid you, as Pajals and White Mages both. You truly mean to leave the forest and help us? In the heat of the moment, I forgot myself and spoke out of turn. I pray you can forgive me. There is naught to forgive. On the contrary, we are grateful to you for opening our eyes. Now I trust we can rely upon you to guide the way. Listen, Serenia. This will be our first time outside the forest, and we will most certainly make fools of ourselves. I would thank you not to enjoy yourself overmuch. I shall escort the Seetsias to Tailfeather. Pray meet us there. I will do my best. Back to Dravania. I wonder. Alaqqa spoke of revenge and all that. I wonder. She is an aura like me, and also like the Durgu from the Dark Knight quest was, and he spoke of his entire tribe being slaughtered by Ishgardian knights who thought they were dragons or something, some such. I wonder if she's the survivor who's now bent on revenge, and who is bitter about being cast aside for being different or something. So here we are in Tailfeather. Well, the journey here wasn't nearly as daunting as I expected. I dare say we could have made it without a Shiva. Bold words coming from someone who fairly hacked our guide during the entire journey. Seeing as we are here, we ought to get to work. Do you sense anything, brother? I do. An anomaly in the ether that wrenches the stomach. It emanates from the north and west. A cavern lies in that direction. Morn it is called, and if memory serves, so too does a water vein. It seems to me that is where we must go. I must warn you all, though, that the area is thick with dragons. We must proceed with caution. The dragons, you say? Well, I for one would welcome the excitement. The journey thus far has been rather dull for my tastes. Dull suits us just fine, sister. Remember, our priority is to purge the taint. As if I would forget, the fate of the 12th is at stake. Let us make haste to mourn and confront Alaqqa. Putting on a brave face. I want to talk to you first. Just for fun. I'm doing just fine. Thanks for asking. There's nothing to it. That everything should be so different. Okay, then let's take the path here at Annex Shrine. Maybe this is the right one. And there it is. Okay, here's Alaqqa at this shrine monument. So you're still alive. Most intriguing. Horns such as I have, yet you are not Aura. Well, whatever you are no different from the others. You have come to interfere with my experiment. But know this, it is your ignorance that has led us down this path. We Zayla are nomads who roam and live off the land. My tribe was no different. Yet though we did no harm to those whose land we traversed, they treated us as vermin. In their ignorance they feared us, and that fear manifested as spite and violence. My loved ones and I were cursed at, spat upon, beaten, and worse. It was out of desire to protect them that I began my research. Such pain we have suffered, I swore that I would visit upon the ignorant masses 100-fold. And soon I shall fulfill my goal, for my experiment has finally borne fruit. To be sure, there's still work to be done. Such robust flesh cannot be sustained by ordinary ether. Nay, it must needs be fed something far more potent. The taint. My pet can go only where the taint exists, and so I shall fill the whole world with it. Sister? I sense naught but befouled ether from that dragon. That is without a doubt the cause of the taint. We must needs purify it whole. You would get in the way of my vengeance? Then you shall be the first to feel my wrath. Defeat the zombie dragon. Kill them all, my lovely. It ends here, Alaqqa. Do not harm so much as another leaf. Vengeance is not the way. Doubt that was it. What? The befouled ether refuses to disperse. What is dead can never die. The power of healing, Serena. Use it to purify the stagnant ether. Souls of the damned, render your essence unto my creation. Strike down the undead first. You. It rises. All that healing, it still wasn't enough. It's no use. My pet cannot be slain. No, we won't give up. If it rises again, we have to but strike it down. Confound it, the foul ether still remains. How many times must I tell you, you struggle in vain? We'll see about that. Ah! Crap. Too slow. We'll take that away. Actually, I hadn't seen it until it was too late. It was but a matter of time. No. You will not get in the way of my vengeance. It still returns? Ah, but the befouled ether is gone. We nearly have it. You know my suffering, yet you insist on standing in my way? Why? Wake up, Alaqqa. There's more to this than your own suffering. We, all of us, can accomplish far more when we dare imagine. No. My dreams, all gone to dust. I'm powerless. Powerless to protect my people. Powerless to change anything. We are cowards, all of us. That which we do not understand instills fear within us, and so we lash out. In return, you sought to strike back at those who hurt you. You have done terrible things, and must be held to account for your crimes. But know that it's not too late to make amends. You still have a chance to atone. Your knowledge may yet be used for good. You need but find a new purpose, and I should be glad to help you look for it. With Alaqqa apprehended, it seems safe to say the danger to the 12th is past, and we do it all to the two of you. This experience has taught me much and more, not least of all how powerless I was in the face of an external threat. If I'm to protect the forest, I must needs spend less time with my head in the treetops and more with my feet on the ground. To that end, I shall strive to be as agile as Master Atawa was, standing ready to journey to the ends of the world if needs be. Were it not for your shining example, I would never have found the courage to come to this decision. I cannot thank you enough. Master Arun, when the time comes for you to embark upon your journey, pray allow me to accompany you. It isn't safe to travel alone. You know this to be true. Besides, you need someone to keep a record of all your deeds, that they might be passed on to future generations. For all my bold words, I'm still but a green sapling. Nevertheless, I would serve you faithfully as my grandfather once served Master Atawa. I should be heartened to have your company as Shiva. I shall endeavor to be a Pajal worthy of your respect. Thank you, Master Arun. I swear you'll not be disappointed in me. Arun and I shall escort Alaqqa and place her in the Wood Whaler's care. Pray come and see us afterwards at Camp Tranquil. We would thank you properly. Okay, and back to Camp Tranquil. Down here. And by the power of Quest, they are of course quicker than me despite me teleporting here. and they having a prisoner. And another midway stop. During the entire way back, Alaqqa did not so much as favor us with a glance, but neither did she attempt to flee. I believe there's hope for her yet. Till such time as she finds a new purpose, I shall visit her cell as often as my duties allow. With the source of the taint banished, the Great One's warnings have ceased. He may rest easy for a time. Disaster has been averted thanks to you and XIV. We are eternally in your debt. You are too kind for saying so, my lady, but I have done scarcely anything. All your gratitude should be reserved for Serenia. I'm pretty sure you tracked down the taint for me, and I just went and did the job. That was teamwork, XIV. Allow me to thank you as well, Serenia. Had you not sought me out that day, I may never have found my true calling. Beginning today, I shall accompany Master Arun as she works to maintain peace and harmony within the 12th Wood. I know not where our journey will take us, but when next we meet I shall stand before you a stronger woman. We best be on our way. Fare you well on your own journey, Serenia. I look forward to seeing you again, within the 12th Wood and without. Well, they pretty much exhausted everything I had intended to say. So I shall say but this. I mean to do my part as well. Together with my siblings, I shall work to preserve the harmony of the forest, protecting it from threats both within and without. As for you, Serenia of the White, with your newfound powers, pray continue employing our art for the betterment of the realm. May the light of succor and solace shine wheresoever you may go. Okay. Once again the same message. Okay, and that was the White Mage quest for Heavensward. Next, continue in Stormblood and at Raya Osana here. Seeing White 2 unlocked. And we just got a coffer of where is it? Salt, please. Okay. Not my personal favorite, but from the looks I stay with this look definitely. But yeah, this gear is simply better. Of course, I probably will exchange it against the Shire gear then, the level 60 token gear, and that is even stronger than this then. Okay. Yeah, that's a White Mage quest for Heavensward. Until next time when we do something else. I'm Mace and don't get lost.